The next block of Pokemon cards is scheduled to go out of rotation in April of 2026, and now is a perfect time to start a new series talking about those sets so that we can educate ourselves on what is going to happen next. In this video, it is going to be the first primer I do, and we are talking about Paldea Evolved. This is a very fluid set that is worth quite a bit of money in the Scarlet Violet era. Definitely something that we need to educate ourselves on. So the sooner that we can do this, the better. We are going to go through the sealed market right now of everything relevant with Paldea Evolved, and we are going to go through some of the top singles so that you guys can see what is happening with these prices as it is still in rotation. Well, what's up, guys? My name is Steve. This is Steel City Stacks. I have a cool surprise for you guys. I was able to pick up something that I said I was going to around the Black Friday weekend. And it is this card right here. Yes, I went on this insane rant about it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This card is absolutely pristine. Everything that I can tell, the centering on this guy looks very, very solid. It's not dinged anywhere. I think I got really lucky with this promo card. This is the ShinjiKarp Oricorio from this UPC right here. Was able to go and pick that up at my local card store not too long ago. Very happy about this. Got it for a whopping $18. Go and get your copy now. But with that said, we're going to jump straight into this. Why I wanted to do this now of all times is because, again, we only have about 4.5 to 5 months to really kind of get ourselves on board with what is about to happen when stuff rotates out. There's a lot of new people in the hobby, myself included, of course, that may not understand really what this means. Now, I was at least around when the last group went out of rotation, technically speaking, but there are a lot of cool sets that are about to go out of rotation, which include Paldea Evolved and 151. Now, there was some talk about Paldean Fates. I want to save that for just a little bit later. So we'll tackle probably 151 next, save Paldean Fates for probably early 2026. But Paldea Evolved is the one we want to start with because it still right now is worth the most amount of money in terms of like booster boxes. Of course, if you add up the ETBs and stuff like that for 151, I get it. I understand that. The bundles are insanely expensive as well, but and for Paldea Fates as well. But for Paldea Evolved, we really want to focus on this because there are some really interesting cards, and it's going to behave a little bit differently than you guys probably will suspect. So with that said, I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to focus on the sealed and the singles. We'll come back here and we'll give a full breakdown. So we are going to start with the Paldea Evolved sealed product first. It is pretty late on Thursday, December 4th. So this is the most current price that I can give you guys, but for illustration purposes, just follow along with me. Loose pack right now is worth $8.99. This one has fallen pretty sharply in the last couple of weeks. Steadily has gone up, of course, since this time last year, as has everything. The sleeved booster packs as well. This one's actually hovering at about $10.50. Has been staying like that really since almost the end of August, probably September. But we really want to focus on the ETBs, the booster bundles, and the booster boxes. We're going to start with the ETB. So what I went and did, I have these cool graphics for you guys. So ETB, you can see there was a massive buyout of the ETBs, really drove the price up because, of course, as the product quantity goes down, price shoots back up. I fully expect the price of this to go down. So let's just get that out of the way first and foremost. What I did, though, to illustrate to you guys, is there's definitely an advantage right now when it comes to Paldea Evolved. Let me show you. ETB per pack price, or the ETB price right now is $132.96. The ETB promo, this guy here to the right, is at $11.19. When you break down the price per pack for the ETB, which there's 9 packs in here, you get $14.77. So let me just show you here. $132.96 divided by 9, you get $14.77. The 9 loose pack price, this is up here. This is your $8.99, okay? Times 9 is $80.91. So what I did, I took that $80.91 and I added the promo to it for a whopping total of $92.10. And what I did from there was I said, hey, what is 132.96 divided by 92.10? And I got the sealed premium of 144%, or you're paying an extra 44% for this ETB versus just outright buying this promo and then 9 loose packs. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, I want to highlight something. this should come down sharply. And let's say that it hits $120 per ETB, okay? Then you're paying an extra 30%. Let's say this goes down to $110. Then you're paying an extra 19% versus, again, by just buying the promo and then buying the loose packs. Why am I talking about loose packs? I will explain it in just a minute or two, so stick with me. Let's go down to the booster bundle. This is a little bit easier. Booster bundle right now price is $75.49, $75.49. The price of this has gone up considerably. There's probably not a lot of these coming to the market. Hopefully we do get one more run of some Paldea Evolved booster bundles. I would love to pick up some, but here's the thing. Right now, the bundle per pack price. So again, you take your $75.49 divided by 6, because that's how many packs are in this booster bundle. You get $12.58. The loose pack price is at $53.94 if you just bought 6 loose packs instead. Sealed premium is at 40% right now. Again, that is your $75.49 divided by $53.94 for 140%, or a 40% premium you're paying for this booster bundle. Now, it's a sealed premium, right? It's not just loose packs. I get it. There should be more than just loose packs. That 100% makes sense. I get that. But everything will make sense here. The booster box. Look at the price of the booster box. This thing was all the way up about $450 at one point, has sharply come back where it should be, mind you, at about $354.92. This will eventually go back up because the booster boxes, as many of you know, or I guess if you don't know, a booster box has the most value moving forward, especially out of rotation. That is 100% true. People value these as the main blue chip item that you want to collect from a set. It doesn't really matter, right? The Moonbreon from Evolving Skies is like $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, but the booster box of Evolving Skies is like $2,200, $2,300. So it doesn't really matter what the chase is. The booster box will always surpass whatever is in it. That is just how it goes. But let's break this down. The box per pack price is $9.86. That is your $355 essentially divided by 36. That's how many packs are in a booster box. So $9.86 per pack. That's pretty dang good. Your 36 loose pack price is $323.64. So what we're really saying is you're paying an extra 10% for this sealed box right here versus just buying the singles outright. So you can call this, your 10% sealed premium. I think that's really good. But what's really interesting, and I want to shout out to Pokey Chuck because he had mentioned this in a video from this week, something that I really wasn't aware of. He's been doing this longer than I have. And he had mentioned that scanning, like using a metal detector to scan for the holofoils in packs, was going to be a problem. And in Sword and Shield, it could definitely be a problem. That's why people don't buy loose packs from Sword and Shield. But in Scarlet Violet, they seem to figure that out. And there's more confidence in being able to buy loose packs for this, okay, or for anything in Scarlet Violet for the most part. I think, just when we look at this, this booster box is for sure the best value you can get, without a doubt, compared to the booster bundle, to the ETB, and it's not even close whatsoever. I didn't even want to put the Pokemon Center ETB because it's like $600, and that's a joke. It's an absolute joke for 11 packs and a stamped promo. Like, come on. Like, let's get serious. But if you guys want to go and rip packs of Paldea Evolved, even if you want to go and buy the hanger packs, that's fantastic. I don't recommend ripping into this box. I think the value is going to continue to rise up. It's going to take a while for sure, especially if we stop being in such a bull market. But this price will eventually go back up and be a $500, $600 box like Fusion Strike was, like Brilliant Stars is about to be from Sword and Shield, and so on and so forth. This is not Destined Rivals, but it certainly is pretty good. There's a lot of cards in it. So let's go and talk about those cards because that is something interesting as well. So at the top here, I got this value of $1,232.32 from pokedata.io. This is about as current as I can get. We're going to run through these singles really quick. So what I did here was try and illustrate to you guys the top cards from the set. Of course, this one is the most famous, the Magikarp IR, or the ShinjiKarp as it's called. It is a Shinji Kanda card, so reputation precedes itself. This card is incredibly difficult to grade in a 10. The pop rate is very, very, very low. Also, in case you guys did not know, there are 36 illustration rares in Paldea Evolved. That is very hard to find a specific illustration rare. That's why some of these cards are so valuable. You guys can see here right now, $251.29 for this card. The price shot all the way up in what looks like about September, October-ish, and has started to fall very rapidly. There were a lot of cards here, this little bar, a lot of cards sold for this Magikarp. Currently, this card is worth 20.4% of the set value. That is just the price of the card, excuse me, divided by the total value of the set. This card's also 70.8% worth, or as much as the value of the booster box of $352. Now, one thing I want to mention before we go, if you guys did not know this, I'm going to enlarge the image here. There is actually a Gyarados right here. So another cool thing that ShinjiKarp does is always, throw something in here to make it a little bit more interesting. So you not only have this Magikarp, but you have the Gyarados at the very top. It's very poetic. Of course, this is a popular card. You guys probably knew that, but if you didn't, cool. Tyranitar, another illustration rare, currently selling for about $55. Once again, you see this huge bar here. This was a massive buyout. This card was $45, shot all the way up to about $80, a little bit less than that. Plummeted back down to about $55. It's going to probably continue to fall down. Be on the lookout for this. There's some awesome illustrations in here as well. A lot of Star Raptors. Tyranitar's, pretty goated Pokemon just in its own right, pseudo legendary. It has some Groudon vibes too from Paradox Rift, so we'll keep it there. This one's worth 4.5% of the set value and 15.5% of the total booster box price. Mousehold, another illustration rare. This card's very hard to grade as well. Paldea Evolved, known for being very difficult to grade. This Mousehold, currently $52. It is 4.2% of the set value, 14.7% of the booster box itself. This price is falling pretty rapidly. Once again, you can see buy out here, buy out here. This price will eventually come back down. I think if you can get it anywhere about $30 to $35, it's a really cool card to have, just being honest with you guys. One of the more unique Pokemon that they've made. Paldea, just Gen 9, very underrated as a whole. Something to keep in mind here. I do love the artwork. It's very colorful. Hopefully the price comes down. The Raichu, of course, an OG Pokemon. This one's just a little sleepy guy. Love him. Got the little electricity kind of flowing in different spots. It's pretty cool. Price plummeting back down. You guys are kind of notice a trend here. Another massive buyout here. Price drove all the way up to about $61, $62. We're down to about $50 right now. That is 4.1% of the set value, 14.2% of the booster box value. Hopefully this one continues to come down a little bit. If you're a fan of Raichu, consider picking it up. Iono, our first special illustration rare. This is actually nearing a 12-month low, which is super cool. Currently $50.38, just below the Raichu. 4.1% of the set value, 14.2% of the booster box value, just like the Raichu. This one is interesting because, Iono's was at least very, very popular at first. We've had Iono kind of shoved down our throats a little bit too much, I think. So I'm cool skipping on this one. I'm not the biggest Iono fan, but, this is probably a good time if you want one of the top SIRs. The Tinkaton EX, this card's actually gone up pretty considerably, or consistently. This was like a $25 card. Now it's at $36. It's 2.9% of the set value, 10% of the booster box value. I don't have much to say about this one. It's a very colorful card. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely unique. It's a steel and a fairy type, so if that's your thing, go for it. Chi-Yu, another special illustration rare. $32 right now, 2.6% of the set. 9.1% of the booster box price. This one's kind of fluctuated pretty consistently. I am curious to see if this card will get support around the $30 to $34 region, and then it runs. Another Pokemon that's probably not so popular, but I really like the artwork on this one. I am not going to lie. I'm a big sucker for kind of like the sun peeking through. It's like kind of shaded and just looks very red and stuff. I like that artwork quite a bit. The Fuecoco. If you guys aren't aware, Paldea Evolved has illustrations for all of the starter bonds and all of their evolutionary stages. Fuecoco, definitely one of the more interesting ones. Very cute and playful if you haven't watched the Horizons anime. Very, very fun. I like it quite a bit. This card selling for $28 right now. 2.3% of the set, 7.9% of the booster box. The card's really gone nothing but up. I think this is finally starting to get the recognition that it deserves. I don't mind picking it up and filling a whole binder with the Sprigatito line, the Fuecoco line, and the Quaxley line. I think they're all fantastic cards. We'll kind of get into that. The Meryl, another card that's actually really, really difficult to grade. And this one has some, a bunch of different Pokemon in it. There's Luvdisc, there's some Bruxish or Marini, it looks like, Pinchurin, Clauncher. There's a bunch in here. Luvdisc, I don't know if I said that. Currently $26.77, 2.2% of the whole entire set, 7.5% of the booster box. Price went all the way up to $36 earlier this year when it was fun to run these cards up. Dropped all the way down to about $20. Again, we're back up to almost $27. We'll see if this card continues to run. Meryl, not my favorite, but definitely a solid artwork. I love the water scenes. The water type's like one of my favorites. But the Grusha, next one, very interesting. This is another SIR. $13 for this guy. 1.1% of the set, 3.7% of the booster box. Price has kind of fluctuated. You'll see there's another buyout here very early on in January. People really tried to get behind this card, and just like it didn't stick. Grusha is a gym leader from the Paldea region. What's a cool thing about this one? There's a couple Starly here in the front, and if you guys pay attention, you'll actually see there's an evolution right up here. So if that's your thing, it's a very unique card. It is almost the holiday season. Snow's falling in my area. I know there's just been all over the US here, so might be the time to pick up the card. $13, can't really beat it. Frigibax. Another interesting one. You guys will notice the same pattern here between all of these. Someone tried to buy out the whole evolutionary line at some point. You can get this card for $11.64 right now. It's only 0.9% of the set and 3.3% of the booster box price. So that being said, price has kind of hovered for quite a while. It's been in that range. I don't think you guys are going to miss anything. The artwork is super cool on this one. You'll see the next one on Arctibax. I really like this one because you can see it actually has the indent like where it's like sword back would be. So as it's like kind of rolling, it can almost like fit in here. I think it's a very unique art piece. Currently $10 for this card. Again, it has hovered around this range for quite some time, so you're not missing anything. 2.9% of the booster box value, only 0.8% of the whole set. Again, another buyout, immediately came back down. Bax Caliber, same exact thing, massive buyout, dropped all the way down. This is just a regular illustration rare, $16 right now, 1.3% of the set, 4.6% of the booster box. It is just chilling here in this range, sub $20 card. You can get the Bax Caliber, the Arctibax, and the Frigibax, all for less than $40. And I think that is an absolute steal. You can get all of those and fill up, a whole row in your binder of this. That's super cool. It's also nice that they are sequential as well. 208, 209, and 210 from the set, so pretty cool there. Bax Caliber, also pretty cool. It is getting a Mega, as you guys probably saw from Legends ZA, so that's cool. Probably not going to do anything to the price of this, but still. Last couple, Meowscarada. Arguably one of my favorite starters ever. This thing is just amazing. I love how mischievous it is in the anime. It's a lot of fun. This is a special illustration rare, $18.80 right now. $18, that is. 1.5% of the set, 5.3% of the booster box. Prices kind of just, gone down really since that, again, like the whole time it was, the cool thing, it was the like buyout cards. Getting an SIR for under $20 is never a bad thing. I would not mind getting all of the starters from this entire era. I think they're super cool. Skeledirge, $24 right now, 2% of the set, 6.9% of the booster box. Price shot up. Still, again, you're going to notice the same thing here, guys. I mean, the graphs look almost identical. Again, you can get it $25 card. Skeledirge is awesome. Torch Song, great move. The little bird that it has, super awesome. This one's still shopping with its buddy. Buddy's all grown up. Skeledirge all grown up, pretty cool. Quakewave Ball, one of the most hated Pokemon and starters I think I've ever seen in my life. I don't get it. I think it's incredibly unique and cool. Less than $10 right now, $9.74, 0.8% of the set, 2.7% of the booster box. It is a special illustration rare, getting this for under $10, especially any Pokemon. Yes, please sign me up. This one, someone tried to buy it out all the way up to $11 whole, and it just did not happen. It's back down to sub $10. So literally, again, guys, you can see it's the same graph over and over again for these starters. Really think there's some awesome plays to be made here, especially like, again, you can add up all of these if you guys want. You can pretty much buy every single one of these cards that I listed. Maybe if you take out the Maushold and the Tyranitar, maybe you still include them. Everything from here and below you can probably get for the entire value of the booster box itself. So if you want to spend that kind of money, you would just want to try and pull the cards, please pull these. It's always cheaper than buying booster boxes for sure. But now might be your best time to get the Magikarp. I'm just going to leave it there. You can get it anywhere, you know, $200 to about $250. I think that's an excellent price to get it at. This is going to be a very, you know, I don't want to say common, but popular card moving forward, especially stuff goes out of rotation. And again, just to highlight it, you get big bad boy Gyarados right here. Pretty freaking cool, but that's all we got. So I'm really hoping that was a great illustration for you guys. I think Paldea Evolved is absolutely ripe for the picking right now. If you want to go for the singles right now, I really don't blame you guys. I think there's a lot of stuff coming down in price, but I will say, please be patient on some of these cards. They will probably continue to go down just because I'm telling you, hey, I'm on YouTube and I'm talking about cards. Doesn't mean you should buy it at this necessary price. Just be smart. Things are still probably going to correct down another 5 to 10%. I wouldn't be shocked at that at all. But time is running out for these cards. And the closer we get to April, the more likely it is that people are going to drive the prices up because there's not going to be a great chance of more of these singles hitting the market. What is out there is what's going to be out there, and it's only going to hit the market, if people start ripping the sealed product that they have. Speaking of the sealed, again, for the love of God, if you are looking to collect or invest into the ETBs or the booster bundles at this price, just don't even bother. If you can get them at MSRP, be my guest. It's probably not going to happen, especially with the ETBs. Definitely not going to happen. Maybe, like I said, we get one more run at a Paldea Evolved booster bundle. I doubt it, but if you can get those, it's an obvious, take it. The value of that will go up as well. But don't buy into those booster bundles right now thinking that they're going to go up in value to some insane amount. You'd have to wait years and years and years to do that. Just save up for the booster box. And yes, I know not everyone has $350 to spend on a Paldea Evolved booster box. I certainly don't. I know it's tempting to buy the ETB instead, thinking that, oh, hey, if I just hold on to this, it's not going to happen for you. Trust me. Save up your money. Go and buy Paradox Rift. Go and buy another booster box that's way cheaper. Go buy Journey Together. That's going to be such a laugh. It's going to be a whole thing I probably do later in 2026 here on this channel. But, again, booster box, definitely the way to go. There's not much of a sealed premium on that compared to some of the other sets, for sure. There's not that high of a premium compared to some of the other items, or, like the booster bundles, the ETBs in the set. And for the love of God, don't buy the PC ETB. I forgot to mention that. Don't do that. But yeah, this is, something I wanted to do. Quick primer for you guys. There's a lot of value still in these cards. Again, I think the Magikarp is very, very juicy. If that one can go down just a little teeny bit more, that might be one of those grail cards that you want to get from the Scarlet Violet era. It's been a thing since Paldea Evolved's been a thing. Almost said Mr. P there, but that's someone else's name for it. Not trying to steal that name, but yeah, this was your primer, guys. We'll plan on talking about all of these sets. We might do Scarlet Violet base next. Now that I'm thinking about it, because not many people like that, but there are still some cool cards in there that are worth talking about. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. What is your favorite card from Paldea Evolved, or where do you think the next play is going to be inside of Paldea Evolved? Am I dead wrong for doing this? Am I dead wrong for thinking about this? Let me know down below. I want to hear from you guys. Be sure to like the video as well. Subscribe for more. We got tons and tons and tons of new content coming. Constantly thinking of new ideas to share with you guys. Loving the support from all of you guys, the comments, the subscribers, everything. Channel's growing at such a healthy rate. I absolutely love it. Feels like we're doing things by the book, and that is what it's all about. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.